Hello my loves, Send Out here coming at you with another video.
Look here, is this the right place? I don't know. Like it. Let me see. Is this right, baby?
And in this video, it is going down.
It's going down.
And I don't just mean, you know, like a little bit. I mean deep down.
Ask me how I know. It's me. Surprise. Yeah.
Let's get into it. Within your hair's cortex, there are multiple polypeptide chains that run from the top to the bottom of the hair shaft. They are spiral shaped and known as alpha helix, okay? So are we good? Within these polypeptide chains, there are bonds that hold these polypeptide chains together. And those bonds are known as salt bonds, hydrogen bonds, and disulfide bonds. These bonds create linkages between the polypeptide chains. And we have two types of linkages. The hydrogen bond deals with the temporary linkage, while the disulfide bond deals with the permanent linkage. So let's deal with the temporary linkage first. Obviously, if one linkage is temporary and one linkage is permanent, the permanent linkage is going to be a lot stronger than the temporary linkage. So the temporary linkage is very, very easy to break. And you break that temporary linkage, which is what, say it with me, the hydrogen bond. Breaking the temporary linkage of the hair allows you to manipulate the hair temporarily, so you can go from straight to curly or from curly to straight when the hair is wet. Once the hydrogen bond is broken, the hair literally becomes spineless and you can make it do whatever you want it to do. So this will be the perfect time for your twist styles, silk press, all of that stuff when the hydrogen bond is broken. Now, the hydrogen bond joins itself with the polypeptide chain next to it, and that is how it creates new memory. So whatever you tell your hair to do, whether you're stretching it, over manipulation, whatever you're doing, you're literally giving that hydrogen bond direction. It's like, yes sir, yes ma'am, whatever you tell me to do, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, because that hydrogen bond is what's joining with the polypeptide chain next to it to make sure that your hair follows order and does what God made it to do. When your hair is dry, the hydrogen bond is what's holding your hair together. When your hair is in its natural, unstretched state, it is known as alpha keratin. Now you know that when your hair is in its natural state, it is known as what? Alpha keratin. But let's get into beta keratin. Beta keratin is the new form that you have now given your hair. This is now the new pattern that you've given the bonds that are holding the polypeptide chains that make up your hair together, okay? Now your hair is in beta keratin. But this is the thing about hair being in beta keratin, and this is why silk presses are everything and could make a world of difference if done properly, and could make a world of difference on the negative side if done improperly. Now, once the silk press is finished and you've had your hair straightened and you put the cap on and everything, the cap is off, your hair is officially in beta keratin. Beta keratin is the state that your hair stays in until the hydrogen bond is broken again with water, sweat, humidity, anything like that. Because understand, the hydrogen bond isn't just broken by putting your head in the sink, girl. Water is water. If it comes from your scalp while you sleep, it don't matter what the hairstylist did. The hairstylist is not responsible. If your hair sweat and it reverts back, it's science. Your hydrogen bond was broken again with H2O, and there's nothing she can do about it except relax your hair, and y'all don't like relaxers. In my previous videos, when I was still standing behind a chair on a regular basis giving you guys hair videos, one of the comments that you see, not just on mine, any silk press video you see around the world, Craig.
The world, Craig. Shit, not just the city, the world.
Not just the city, the world. It's made my throat itch thinking about it. I need some water. I'm having PTSD, think about that stuff. Everybody is so crazy about heat damage, so crazy and insane about heat damage. But the reality is, heat damage is only done to hair when the hydrogen bond is not allowed to reach its beta keratin state. Why is that? most of us don't really know what we're doing. Most of us look online and we see somebody that's a hairstylist that has a cosmetology license who learned everything that I'm telling you about if they paid attention in class. And they know how to make sure your hair is in its beta keratin state before you're able to leave out of the salon. That is why silk presses took off, because what the silk press is actually doing, if done properly, is ensuring that your hair is in its beta keratin state automatically before you walk out of the door. So this is what happens if you blow dry the hair improperly. You have not dried the hair all the way, which means that you begin to add heat before the hydrogen bond connects again with the hydrogen bond next to it. So this is a hydrogen bond, this is a hydrogen bond inside the polypeptide chain that's holding your hair together, and you didn't let the hair dry properly because you used the blow dryer attachment, so you were not able to get to the cuticles to do what you needed to do within the polypeptide chain, or you've been using the comb attachment, or you set your clients under the dryer for their hair to dry completely. That is why I use the round brush, because the round brush ensures that I can control the hair inside of the polypeptide chain, and I can tell the hydrogen bond to link with the polypeptide chain next to it and give me a smooth silk press. That is the science behind the silk press. That is why the blow dry is the most important part, because when you are taking your hair from wet to dry, you are taking your hair from alpha keratin to beta keratin. So when in between that process of your hair growing from alpha to beta, your hair needs exact direction on what to do. So I use the round brush because the bristles are super close together. So this broken hydrogen bond that is now looking to link with the polypeptide chain next to it, it's like, what do I do? Where do I go? Tell me what to do. And I can guide the hair right next to the strand directly next to it with bristles that are very close together. I really hope this is making sense. So if you don't blow dry the hair properly, and I'm not saying the only way you can connect the hydrogen bond is with a round brush, I just find that the most effective way for me to do it, but you can do it with a denim brush or a paddle brush, whatever. It may take longer, but it's whatever floats your boat, okay? Whatever makes your rocket pop on the top, okay? Heat damage happens when the stylist or you at home do not allow the hydrogen bond to connect with its neighbor to reform. You put the flat iron on your hair before your hair gets into its beta keratin state. That is when heat damage happens. To be honest, as a community, most of us don't know any of this. So as soon as we see heat damage, we're like, no, the flat iron, oh my God, flat irons are the devil. Heat is the devil. No, it's not. Us not knowing our hair and not knowing the proper education behind it, or not trusting the people who do, is what kind of leads to it. And I shouldn't say trusting people who do, because a lot of the people who do hair don't know this. But it's whoa. That is why the silk press is so amazing, because after I straighten the hair and it's bone straight, obviously the hair is still hot. It needs to cool down, and the way that you ensure is in its beta keratin state is with cold air. That is why during the silk wrapping process, after your hair is bone straight, it looks like it's already done, but it's not. I need to tell that hydrogen bond to stay where it's at and to link to the one next to it. So we wrap, that's why we wrap the hair and insulate all of the nutrients, and then we take the cap off. So the hair is already straight and beautiful before it gets wrapped under the dryer with the cool air. We are putting them under the dryer to lock the hair in its beta keratin state. That is the science behind the silk press. It's not because it looks cute when the cap gets snatched off, girl. Let's get to the disulfide bond. The disulfide bond is that permanent linkage. Now this permanent linkage, this is not like the temporary linkage that is broken by water. This is the permanent linkage that is only broken by chemical services. So whenever you are going from dark to light, if you are getting a relaxer, you're going from curly to straight, or getting a perm going from straight to curly, you are are manipulating the disulfide bond. The hair is made up of a protein called keratin that grows out of a sac called the follicle. Cells in that follicle produce keratin and other proteins that make up the hair shaft. These proteins are made up of sulfur atoms, and when there's more than one sulfur atom, they make up a disulfide bond. These sulfur to sulfur bonds is like dual linkage, so they're very, very, very hard to break. Like, you have to do some real damage. Like, this is permanent heat damage and things of that nature. So if you do not allow the hydrogen bonds to meet back up and you continue to put heat on the hair or braid it or twist out, anything like that, that is breaking the disulfide bond. Understand that the only visual sign of the disulfide bond being broken is not just hair being curly and then it being straight. Your ends being really damaged and stuff, that is proof and evidence of the disulfide bond being broken from over manipulation, while the hydrogen bond was activated before it got to link with the polypeptide chain over there. When there are disulfide bonds attached to a lot of different proteins, the hair gets curlier. More of those bonds and atoms you have attached to each other, the curlier your hair gets. So you just full of luster and atoms and bonds and stuff and disulfide bonds, girl. If you got curly hair, that's all it means. So please remember, the amount of curls that you have in your hair is only determined by the amount of proteins that you have attached to the sulfur atoms in your hair that make up your disulfide bonds. That's it. Disulfide. Sorry. Yeah, that's it. Shoot. Another thing, your curl is literally only determined by the size of the follicle. So like I told you guys in a previous video, if you are of Asian descent, you have a follicle that is completely round, so the hair comes straight down. That's why the hair is bone straight. There's no crunch or no nothing, so it just comes straight out and the hair is bone straight. And the smaller it goes, the curlier the hair gets. So if you somebody like me, your follicle, girl, look, my follicle probably look like about like right there. But if your hair, if your curls are really, really tight, honey, and somebody asks you, oh, why your hair so curly? You can either send them to this video or tell them that it's simply because you like super saucy and you got like a whole bunch of beautiful goddesses in the gang attached to all of your disulfide bonds. It's like not that complicated, guys. Okay, so I really hope that this video helped you guys in some type of way. I really want, are you freaking kidding me? I really want everyone to reach their fullest potential when it comes to this. So let's get into hair care and let's really wrap our minds around why our hair is the way that it is. I love you guys so much, and until my next video, girl, bye, girl.